with the What's the Topic podcast. Um, Welcome again tonight. Just a minute or two behind here, but that's okay. Trying to get things lined out. That's one thing about having um, different guests each week is trying to coordinate everything. Everybody works for a living, so sometimes things get changed around. I am J Dub. I am the host of What's the Topic? And also one of my permanent co hosts with me is my brother LC over here. How's it going, LC?
It's not bad. Wasn't a bad Tuesday, so just glad to be here another day on Earth.
All right. Appreciate you being able to be around here. Our other permanent co host, Hitman, had an issue come up with work, so he's not able to make it tonight. But we're going to continue on and roll with this episode. Um, our guest tonight, we kind of had to move them around, but one that was able to make it is Womble. How's it going, Womble?
Pretty good, man. Glad to be back.
All right, glad to have you back. And our other guest, a quick fill in tonight. Um, Sorry, our other brother. Um, Razor, he hopped in here to fill in and help with those that are having other situations that's come up and gone on. How's it going tonight there, Razor?
Going pretty good. Flint said he had a good Tuesday. I was busy from about lunchtime to the time I left. So, yeah, this Tuesday felt like a Monday, but happy to be here again.
All right, glad to have you back. I think this is what, 3 episodes in a row that you've been a part of so far?
Yeah, yeah, this is number 3, and I was asked to do it. I said, yeah, I can fill in. And then I started thinking, I said, well, you need to let me know what the topic is. So, so I'm
Yeah,
kind of coming in blind on this one, but yeah.
exactly. And that is the whole gist of this little podcast streaming thing that we do. It's called What's the Topic? And sometimes we never even know until right before the broadcast. I think we changed it a couple of times, but it's to promote viewers to come in here and check out what we're talking about. And it's also to give some, like LC and I were talking about earlier, things that, not talking about war, not talking about religion, not talking about, any of the major things going on, just different day to day things to help get our mind off stuff and talk about things that are uplifting, inspiring, intriguing. Uh, um, that way, we can kind of all step back a little bit and have a little bit of fun. But with that being said, our topic tonight to start off with, and just because we're on a specific topic does not necessarily mean uh, we're going to stay on that topic for the whole 2 hours. But,
2 hours. What?
well, yeah, that's the typical. I mean, that's kind of our allotted time. We may go 2 hours, we may not. Who knows? But our topic for tonight are dogs and cats. And the first thing we're going to discuss is, are you a dog person or are you a cat person? And with that being said, we sprung that on Razor, who just jumped in, didn't know what the topic is. Dog person or cat person, Razor? Which one are you?
I'd probably have to lean toward being a dog person. I mean, growing up, always had dogs. Currently have a dog right now, Labrador Retriever. And my daughter Amy, which I know her, she stopped by just a little bit ago. As a matter of fact, she left about 5 minutes before y'all sent me an invite, and she was commenting on my lab that how fat he is, and I was like, yeah, he is. He is kind of chunky, but yeah, I've always kind of been a dog person. I've had hunting dogs before. I have had cats occasionally, but yeah, I'm more or less a dog person because I don't know. It seems like you can have more fun with dogs. Not a cat person may argue with that, but a cat, you can't go out and play fetch with them. And that's one good thing about having a Labrador and also a Golden Retriever. They'll wear you out, by playing with them. So yeah, dog person.
All right, dog person it is. Womble, I think I may know where you might go, but dogs or cats? What?
Probably dogs. I'm gonna go with dogs. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have 2 cats, but we got 5 dogs.
Okay.
And I've always been a dog person my whole life. From whenever I was little to now. I mean, there's good dogs, there's bad dogs. I mean, it is what it is. We had growing up. I've had a variety of hunting dogs. Had a variety of little dogs, medium dogs to big dogs, but I love dogs. But yes, I am definitely a dog person.
Right. LC, dog person or cat person?
Well, I'm kind of like split through the middle because, I've always, like I said, always had dogs. Grew up with them, had them forever. But seems like, I always had a cat in the mix too. But on that aspect, a cat, say from a year to younger, to like a kitten, that's like the fun time with one of them. So after they get like over a year old, they're like just fat, lazy, just want to lay around and sleep and eat and poop in the litter box and all that stuff. But kittens are cool. I love kittens. They're fun to play with. But I would probably have to ultimately go I'd say 60-40 dog to cat.
All right. And if I had to pick, I'm probably gonna go with dog. Nothing against cats, but and I'll get into something a little later that I want to ask each of you guys. But if I had to choose, it would probably be the dog. I'm picking a dog first. Nothing against cats, but yeah. And the question that I was wanting to bring up that just popped in my head here is the first pet that you can remember. Was it a dog or a cat, LC?
Dog, Doberman Pinscher. I was probably, I would say, around the age of probably 5 or 6. The blackened rust, or gold, as they say, black rust Doberman. Name was Rebel. That's the first one. It actually is probably 6 to 7 because we moved from that place to where I say we grew up.
Yeah.
So that's the first pet I remember is Rebel, Doberman Pinscher. Awesome dog.
Womble, first pet that you can ever remember, thinking way back. What was it?
Probably gonna say my Papa's Basset Hound named Fred.
Fred.
He didn't ride with Jerry Reed, did he?
No,
See, was that the Smoking Bandit dog?
probably yeah, must have been. But I mean, uh, probably about five. I was 5 years old. I remember riding on the or laying on that dog everywhere. But yeah, that was my papaw's basset hound, Fred.
Fred.
Razor, first pet that you can remember.
The first one that I can remember is when I don't know how it was before Clint was born, but the dog that me and you had, and the dog's name was Puppy.
Yeah.
Little black dog. I don't know what kind of dog it was. I can just remember there's a picture somewhere, me and you sitting on the porch with it sitting up by us, and there was a little black dog, with short legs and long tail, kind of looked like a basset hound, but I don't know what breed it was. It was probably just a mutt, but yeah, I can't remember doing much with it, but that's the first one that I can ever remember being around, this little black dog named Puppy.
Puppy.
All right.
Puppy and Fred.
That's what the one I was going to bring up, but in that same time frame, I remember Puppy, as you brought up, but do you remember Alexander the cat?
Um,
You may not. I mean,
Vaguely, yeah, I can remember a cat, but I can't remember what color it was, if it was a male or female, whatever. Yeah, I can remember the name and I can remember the cat, but I can't picture it. But like I said, going back to what I said, dogs you can play with it, because Puppy was out in the yard, we'd be out there, I was probably I don't know, maybe 4 years old, maybe 5, I don't know. We were little, and remember playing with it, everywhere we went in the
play with
yard, the dog
cats.
was there.
You can play with cats.
yeah.
They're,
Oh,
they're
and,
fun
and
little.
that's what I was going to bring up because I don't have a first pet I remember. I remember two pets, Puppy, the dog, and Alexander, the cat. And Alexander was the same size as the dog. I mean, the dog wasn't huge, but the cat was. And they were, I mean, I was like, if I wasn't grabbing the ears on Puppy, I was pulling Alexander's tail, and neither one of them cared. So, right off the bat, I guess I had a good relationship with both dogs and cats. Um, but I guess as I got older, I kind of transitioned to preferring a dog over a cat. But um, hey, what's up, Reese? And Gerbil and everybody, DC, all up in the chat. Appreciate y'all stopping by.
All right. Well, on what we're here right now, everybody is majority here has been dog. All right. So I'm just something I thought about when everybody's saying dogs and all this stuff. So, say if you had now this is say $5,000, you could go buy a new pet today, and it was a dog. What breed? Like, what is your the favorite breed that you would like to have as far as a dog? We'll just say money's unlimited. I mean, if you had whatever it costs, you could go get the perfect dog that you've always wanted. What would it be? And
Womble.
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm my dogs that I grew up with my whole life that I've always owned are pit bulls. There's but I've had labs. I've had Doberman pinchers. I mean, if I'm gonna go out and get one, I'm probably gonna go back with a pit. But I might mix it up and have a different breed this time.
all right, interesting. I was thinking you'd probably go with the pit because
And that's, and let's expand on that real quick. Um, Pits have a bad name. Um, Kind of like back when we were growing up, We had Doberman Pinschers. They kind of had a bad name. And then we kind of transitioned to Rottweilers, and they kind of had a bad name. But, as far as dogs are concerned, um, I I'm 100% online with it's how you raise that dog, how you treat that dog, how you train that dog. Uh, but
I
that's
agree.
yeah, and that's a completely different subject. But um, razor, unlimited budget or whatever LC threw out there, you could buy your ultimate dog. What would it be?
Well, y'all know me, and y'all have experienced it too. If it was 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, I would
Yeah.
buy probably the best coon dog around, because back in the
Let's see.
10, 15 years ago, that's all I did. And, Clint and Jeff, you both know. And I'd look every day, hey, look at this dog right here. And, a puppy, $800, here's a finished out coon dog, for $12,000, and that would be if that was then. But now, um, I don't know. I mean, I paid, I think, $400 for the lab I got now, and he's the best dog. Not saying that he's the best dog I've had, but I like him. He likes me. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, labs are cool. I've had Dobermans. I've had a chow at one time. And all dogs are different. And like you said, it's just how you raise them and how you treat them and all that. So I don't know if there would be just a specific breed, that I'd really want to buy. That I'm kind of partial to my lab.
Well, I tell you, if I don't even know what breed dog it was. If there was a dog I could buy, um, unlimited money, and the only one here that's gonna know this dog is my brother Scott or Razor down here. Um, I don't know what this dog was, but if I could buy that dog, it would be the dog my grandparents had when I was a kid, known as Princess. And she was some type of, I don't know what she was.
I think she had some German Shepherd,
Some German
Collie mix
Shepherd,
or something
Collie,
like that. She was a mixed dog, But yeah, I remember her.
the best dog ever that I could
Gentle.
ever remember. I mean, and protective,
Yeah,
so
I,
protective.
yeah. I think she did have a little bit of German Shepherd in her, and but she kind of looked like a collie. I mean, yeah, she was. I remember her too.
That or Smokey. I
Yeah,
don't know what the hell
that's what I was
Smokey
gonna
was.
say. Smokey,
he,
who would
he
walk
reminded
across the
me.
yard and skip.
He reminded me of. Always reminded me of. Oh, what's that Muppet? Grover.
Yeah, yeah.
But instead of blue, he was black, and oh, that dog was so cool. But I I've always had bad luck with buying a dog. I think you're muted, LC. I think you're still muted.
Oh, my bad. Jeez, my bad.
Okay.
But what you were saying, Jeff, you brought me to like another topic on some things. But to answer the first question, if I could have any dog, and this is something I've wanted for a long time, and it's a silver lab. I've already got the name, and it's going to be a guy dog, a little male, but a silver lab. They're they're not cheap. They're like the most expensive one you can get because it's like hard to get a silver because of the breeding, what you got to breed, this to that to get this color. But it'd be a silver lab, and I already got the name, Ollie. And if you think about it, that's where I got the name Ollie for my 5M stuff is Ollie. I guess I always want to be an Ollie.
Oh, Ollie Birds.
Yes, sir. But you said that brought up another.
Well, I mean, we're reminiscing kind of here. Uh, like I said, growing up, it could be from a kid to now. And I guarantee you, I've already know Scott's answer to this, and I probably already know Womble's. I'm not sure about you, Jeff, but if the pets that you had through your life at now, you know, what would be the one pet that you would like to have back, if you could?
Who do you want to answer that first?
Let's drop down to Womble.
I'm honestly gonna say Lola.
That's
I
exactly
had
what I was thinking.
I had her for 14 years. I mean that was I mean pit bulls don't live that long. That was extremely rare for a dog to 14 years. But I mean that was my baby, and she did everything with me. And I got a brother still. He's still kicking. He's 11 years old.
And a pain in the butt.
Yeah, he's got his moments, but no, it's definitely Lola. That's by
That's.
far.
I hope I didn't
Oh
get on a
no, no,
bad
no,
something.
no.
Jeff was talking about that old dog's like, all right, this would
Mhm.
be a good one. So, all right, I guess we'll run down to Razor.
One that I could have back that I had, man.
Anytime of your life.
I've had some good ones. I mean, as far as like hunting dogs, I mean, man, it would my it would probably be Jackson. I didn't have him
There you
very
go.
long. He was already finished out. He was
That
took
was
him
my
out,
thought, Jackson.
took him out several times. In just about any time you take him out hunting, he was going to have a coon. And I'm kind of over what happened to him. So I mean, it would probably be him because me and him, he said, like I said, didn't have to train him. He was already trained when I bought him, and he took him when I guess I went out to Mississippi to a hunt. It's kind of ironic that one of the guys that I was hunting with was like, "Where'd you get that dog?" I said, "Well, he originally, come from Tennessee, and I got him from a guy in Stuttgart, Arkansas." He said, "I trained that dog." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, because he's got that bobtail, and he did have a bobtail." And yeah, that would probably be the one because I mean, me and him, we did a lot of traveling, treat a lot of coons with him,
Made a little
won a
money.
lot of money with him. Yeah.
All right, Jeff, you still thinking?
Oh no, I didn't have to think long at all.
All right, you can go ahead and go.
And what was the question? The one dog.
any any pet, but pretty much we're on like dogs. So, like any pet from that you can remember, the first pet to the last pet you had. Which
That
one
I'd
you'd like to have
back.
back, if you could?
It's got to be Rowdy. It's got to be. It's got to be Rowdy.
That's another
Big,
one I was.
big ass head, Rottweiler, just huge dog. Beautiful, protective, outgoing. How many footballs and basketballs did he bust? Because
Then he got tired of buying them.
we'd go
Don't
out
leave
there
the balls out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We'd go out there and play football or basketball. He's hip checking us. He's tackling us. I mean, just the most awesome dog that there ever was. And I cannot remember what. There was some disease he got. It was
Blastomycosis.
yeah, and the vet gave him the treatment, but said there may be side effects, and he survived the treatment. He continued on. One of the side effects was that he ended up blind.
No, in one eye at first.
Yeah, and then but he could still he knew his way around that yard. He knew um what the boundaries were. He knew where everything was in the yard. But if it had, and I mean, Rebel, our Doberman, uh, still has a place in my heart. But Rowdy, I mean, just his will and determination after he got sick and then was better. I just that would have to be the one for me.
He was a
Well,
good one.
yeah. You know that.
Well, but let me ask you right quick, Clint and Jeff. Would you want Memon's dog Bingo back?
Hell no.
Bingo, hell no, not that son
That
of a bitch.
shit roller, shit eater. Good Lord. He was a cool dog though.
Yeah,
He had a little pit in him, but I
he was aggravating though.
Oh yeah.
couldn't go fishing on the creek. Somebody, get out of the water, you damn dog.
Couldn't
Swimming
go
right.
squirrel hunting. He'd go out there and freaking tree a damn armadillo. Uh, all right, Clint, LC.
He could
Um,
dig a hole to China in about 30 minutes.
yeah, he could.
See, mine's
Oh,
mine's
as a
kind of
matter of
tough.
fact,
All right, go ahead.
speaking of, was it Rowdy that
Oh, oof, that was
I
bad.
found that little dog in the woods? I called him Happy. Little old bitty kind of corgi beagle mix. Brought him back to the house. We had a fence between our house and our grandparents, and we were doing something, bringing some wood to the shed or whatever, had the gate open.
No, that was bingo.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Bingo.
oh, okay.
Happy
Yeah, that's
Happy
right.
came running up from the creek through our grandparents' yard, and right about time he got to the gate, Bingo come up there acting like, "Hey, I own this yard. You better get your ass back." Rowdy didn't like that. Rowdy grabbed him by the back of the neck and picked him up and went to shaking him like a damn dirty dish rag. and, and
No,
my
that's not
grand,
how I remember it. That's not how I remember
oh
it.
dude, I'm telling you, he
The
had a
way
hold of him.
the way I remember it, we were all up there, and that dog Bingo was like being all aggressive like that to that dog, and Daddy had Rowdy on a leash, and he
No,
was
that was the second time, Clint.
oh
There
well
were
the one
two
I
different
remember.
times.
Daddy's like just unclicked this and get him.
Get him.
Shit, it was on like Donkey Kong. Daddy was like, "Oh my God!" He beat. All right, get it. Let him go. Let him go.
It's a wonder Bingo ever lived after that. But that's another thing too. You
Whew.
can spend $10,000 on a dog, and that some bitch will run in the road and get hit. You can
Yeah.
find one at the city dump, bring him home, and he'll live 15 years. But let's get back to what you originally brought up, Clint. There, one dog
Let's see.
or one pet rather. You
Well,
could have.
I know I said one, but there's three in my life that they were special. Rowdy was one. That was my buddy. I mean, I think I was probably 8, maybe 9 when we got him as a puppy. And I can remember we had him in the laundry room. We had like a little baby gate set up for him. And I can remember him being there and he'd start howling and just, it was like, I want you, like, come get me out. Man, that was probably the best dog growing up to ever have. And yeah, a freaking Rottweiler for a kid, that's pretty something there. And Tiffy, I don't know if y'all remember her or not. That's me and my first wife, that little border collie.
Oh yeah, I remember her.
That was my buddy. And when I'd come home from work, I'd let him out and all that stuff. You go in there, cook whatever, and sit down and watch TV. She was either in my lap or laying right beside me in my recliner. I mean, if I got
Chicken.
up to go to the bathroom, she'd get up, she'd follow me, she'd sit down or lay down and wait for me. I mean, that was probably, I, a border collie is a great dog to have. But if I would have to say any dog I could have back, and it's something like Scott was saying a while ago, only had him for a short time, but what a dog he was. That'd been Boogeyman.
Oh yeah, I remember Boogeyman.
Yeah.
He he was on the way to be something. Hell of a coon dog. And he was, 11 months when he died. But he was sure enough. He was legit. But it'd probably be Boogie. I miss my Boogie.
All right. Apparently, this has become a dog lover um, podcast here, and not knocking people that are dog lovers. Here's one thing I'd like to throw out there. Do you think that more people, and I'm not talking anything against people that love cats. Um, do you think more people gravitate towards dogs because their personalities are better than, and I'm just speaking from my experiences, than what a cat's personality is, LC?
Well, I mean, it's like what they say. It's man's best friend. I mean, dogs are loyal. I mean, and I'm not saying cats aren't either, but like Rowdy, for instance, growing up, there was not going to be anybody that would come up to our house that he didn't know and like, no, you ain't coming up here. He'd get in front of the people and just sit there, just do that. You know, somebody had to come out there and say, all right, hey, it's good, it's good, it's good. No matter who they were. But I mean, dogs are just. It seems like they're more in tune to man. I don't know why. That's just my thought.
Yeah, and I'm gonna follow this up in a minute, but Womble is um dogs and cats. Do you think more people gravitate to dogs because of what LC was saying? They have that loyalty or whatever, or
I mean, I think it's I'm not. I think it's easier for people to gravitate towards a dog than a cat because I mean every cat's different, but most cats are they're non-touchy. They don't want to be touched. They just want to be left alone and do their thing. You know what I mean? Dogs are forever right in your face. Want to love. They want the attention. They want the love. Cats are not like that. I got two of them, and now I got one that is like that, but the other one, you're not. Only certain people can hold him. He's not a touchy feely type cat. Me what's crazy about me and Whitney are the only two that really can pet him and hold him is because we fed him whenever he was a kitten. We bottle fed him, and honestly, I didn't want him, but after getting up every morning with the little shit, and then feeding him before we went to bed, he kind of grew on me, and he'd lay in the bed with me, and it just we kept him.
So, like
But
Juan was
yeah,
saying, introverts. Cats are introverts.
all
yeah.
right. Racer, um, dogs and cats. Do you think that dogs are more? Uh, it's. I know there are as many cat people out there as there are dog people. I think, I would say, but do you think dogs naturally more people gravitate to them than cats, Razor.
Yes, in my opinion, I think they do. I mean, because like I said before, dogs are man's best friend, and if you watch a TV show, or most movies, the family on there, they have a dog. You don't see many movies to where, just like Full House, they had whatever that golden retriever's name was. I can't remember his name, but a lot of those shows, had a had a dog
Anybody
on
in
there
chat knows that dog's name, put it in here.
as a family pet. The like the only show that I can remember, having a cat on the TV show was Alf, and I guess that was part of the Alf, the character. He liked to eat cats. But yeah, I think it's not knocking.
Oh shit! What was that cat's
Cat
name?
people.
Fluffy,
I can't. Lucky, I think, or something.
Lucky, or
Or something like
something
it.
like that. Yeah.
But
Anybody knows that cat name, throw it in there.
I just think that this is just my opinion. Is dogs are more popular. Because if you go around to 10 different families, I mean, just about everybody on my street, I have a dog. My neighbors across the street have a dog. My other neighbors across the street have a dog. My other neighbors right across the street have a dog too. My neighbors next door to me have a dog. So you hear, of course, cats can't bark, but I mean, it's like, I don't know. I said it just dogs to me, not only are they man's best friend, but they're a kind of a sense of protection, too. Most people have a dog because if a stranger comes up to your house and hears your dog barking in the yard in the house, they're like, yeah, I don't know what that dog's going to do. So if it's a criminal, they may be like, yeah, I'm not messing with that house because they have a dog. But then I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying cats are bad, but I just think, I don't know.
Dogs,
right.
the preferred
I know
pet.
more people that have dogs than they do cats, and they talk about their dogs.
Comet.
Yes.
Comment now.
Also, here's another thing. Do you think dogs are more domesticated than cats? I know they're both domesticated, but do you think um, human evolution with dogs and domesticating animals and all this, we've domesticated cows and horses and all these other animals. Um, do you think it's because through the evolution that dogs have been more domesticated than cats per se?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you get more out of dogs. You see what I'm saying? You can put dogs to work. You can make them be security. They're protectors. You're not going to have a cat that's that's going to be your saving grace in your house. I mean, you could, because cats are mean.
Yeah, they are.
But I think that I think dogs are more domesticated because we domesticated, well, however you say it. We've used them more. They're
Definitely.
yeah,
Or whatever.
but yeah, we get more out of them. I mean, because right now I could go pick up that cat and that cat could just claw my face to pieces. I mean, not saying my dog won't bite me, but you're more likely to get ate up by the cat versus the dog attacking you.
Well,
Uh,
let me say this: I think dogs are more domesticated because they're you can train a dog better. You can train a dog to sit, to fetch, to roll over and do all that. But if you ever see a cat, even if you've had a cat, of course, I've had cats before too, as a family pet, you put a cat outside and they see a bird, what is their natural instinct? It's to hunt. A dog, of course, a dog may chase a squirrel, but, a cat is, they even though they can be a pet, they still have that to me that killer instinct, like a tiger or a lion or something like that. Oh, there's a bird. Oh, there's a lizard. There's a frog. They start creeping down.
Or a snake.
Dogs do it too, but you see more. A cat, does it more to me, from what I see. That
Oh, yeah.
still have that killer instinct, you know.
Well, yeah, just take it back to last year. Whenever I was living in this rent house, we had mice problem. You know what I mean? And my cat instincts kicked in, and she killed like 4 or 5. You know what I mean? She cleaned house.
Yeah.
The
Literally.
dogs didn't. The cat did. I mean, their cats are killers. I mean, they really are, and it's crazy.
All right,
Because
Caitlin's bringing up a good topic here. What about uh, dogs who hunt rabbits and stuff? Um, we have domesticated dogs, and dogs have been bred to do certain things. Myself, both of my brothers, we used to coon hunt. They're dogs bred to coon hunt. Um, if I'm not mistaken,
You got dogs
Dachshunds,
bred to chase freaking cows and sheep.
yeah, sheep herders and
So
or sheep dogs and all this stuff. Dachshunds were bred to the reason they have short legs and all this. If I may be completely wrong, but
trust me,
I
I
do
know.
believe to
Fetch
chase
gophers,
rabbits so they could go down the holes and or maybe it might have been
gophers.
gophers. I don't know what it was.
foxes.
Sweet
Uh,
pea was a digging little son of a gun. Woo!
you know, dogs have been bred and they're continuing to be bred to do different things. And I'm not saying a cat is not able to be bred to do certain things, but
They're not trained to do things like that. A dog's like, all right, you're gonna be a duck fetcher for me. Shoot ducks, you're gonna go retrieve them. Coon dogs, you're gonna trail a coon, get a squirrel dog, rabbit dog. A cat, it ain't like you say, all right, I'm gonna train you, and you're gonna catch all the blackbirds out of my yard. Not trying to be racist, but uh, catch a bird. I mean,
yeah.
it's instinct. I mean, you don't train a cat to really work as far as like a
Speaking of
working
that,
dog.
though,
I mean, hold on. The only thing you train a cat to do is to piss and shit in a box. That's it.
Pretty
That's the
much.
only thing that you get out.
But they're smart about doing it.
I will say this though, and my brother Razor down here can attest to that. He and I lived in a house together out in the country, and remember Jesse, the cat.
Yeah.
There was a small to medium sized cedar tree right in the front of the yard. We were sitting on the porch one day having a beer, just chilling, what Southern folks do. And looking out there like, yes, yes, God, we need to mow the yard this weekend. I'm like, yeah, it's all good. Hey, how was your day? And this, that, or whatever. That cat came over from the big oak tree towards that cedar tree and was sitting down. And there, if I'm not mistaken, there was like a blue jay or something up in the tree raising hell. And then we just happened to look and was like, the hell is that? It was a damn rattlesnake. His head poked up under the bird feeder in the cedar tree. That cat was going to that damn rattlesnake.
Yeah, cats, they kill snakes. They will.
So, I mean, not knocking cats or anything.
I love my cats. I mean, I got 2 of them. I and like right now, one's laying in the top of his cat tree, and I could go touch him right now. He's gonna bite me. He's gonna bite me because he's sleeping. Now I could walk over here to my dog that's asleep, and he's gonna kiss me as soon as I touch him. I mean, they're killers. I love them, but they're killers.
And that's where I was getting back to the point. dogs are more domesticated than cats. But let's turn this around. Let's go.
But let me say this right quick. Okay, a litter of puppies. You know, say
Pull this up.
the mama dog or stray dog has a litter of puppies. You can go instantly up to them little puppies. You know, when they got their eyes open and all that, and pretty much just pick one up. You know, and take care of it, whatever. A stray cat, when it has kittens, how many times have you ever been able to get your hands on one of them little kittens? What do? Their first instinct is
To kill.
to fight you, you know, like
Yeah.
and until they have that human contact, you know, they're that's their instinct, you know, that and if you know,
Hey, Jeff.
I will never forget. Um, we were going to town one day, and I was kind of young. I know all of us were around, but uh, going up what's Highway 7,
Let's
um,
see.
the old way going to town. Right, uh, we have a railroad track, and the road makes an S curve under the railroad trestle. We got right to that railroad trestle, and my mom was like, "Oh, look at them kittens! Look at them kittens! We got to get them." My dad pulled over. He went out there to go try to get these three kittens. And when he came back, my mom said, "Did you get any of them?" He was like, "Hell no, look at my hands." He was ate up. They
Hey,
tore him up.
hey, Jeff. I
Um,
put a picture in the what is images podcast, whatever. I don't know if you can copy it and like transpond it over here, but this would be the cat. If I had the money to buy a cat, that would be it.
can I pop that up there? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
These cats are freaking huge. They're big as a lab. And
What's that? That's,
a
what's it
savannah.
called? A savannah? I mean, I'm not at all against having a cat. Um, but
I'm saying that sucker there, that's like owning a tiger legally without a zoo
exactly.
or a leopard.
And
That's
those
what they're from.
and
But
the other type of cat along those lines is called a Bengal. They're smaller,
yes,
but the Savannahs are like
they're like 4 times the size of a Bengal.
four times the size and way more
I mean, I would be
awesome.
scared of that.
No, no,
No, dude. I
After
mean,
what my cat does, I'd be scared of that thing running around my fucking house.
no. You
yeah,
get
but those
if you get it as a
these
kitten. Them things, man, they're and like I've read on them, and it's like a dog. It's like
they are
one of the
way
kids' moms brought up
domesticated.
those gosh, what are they called? The not the
The
Rottweilers,
Bengals.
the Bull Mastiffs.
Oh yeah.
They are a family loyal dog. These cats are just like that. You get them as a kitten and raise them, and they're your buddy, man. They're your buddy. They
that's a
love
big damn
affection.
cat.
You damn right. I would love to have one of them.
And
You
they
imagine me
are
inviting you over to watch some freaking Monday Night Football, and y'all walk in, didn't know I had it, and it's like, what the frick is that?
I'll see my the stage exit left. I'm out the door. Gone.
all
Yeah.
right.
I mean, but no, not really though. They're a beautiful cat, but I don't know.
The
I
size
don't know.
scares you. The
Here's the
size is
thing.
what scares you.
Here's the thing. All right.
A big boy
You
needs a
come
big
to
cat.
my house. You come to my house. I have a let's say a bull mastiff that walks in the living room. You're sitting in the chair. What's your first instinct? or what do you in it? And you don't know I have this dog. I've not had this dog. You've been over there many times. All of a sudden, you come over. I got a bull mastiff. He walks in, it, right up to you.
I'd be
What's your
like,
first thought?
I'm like Troy Landry. What the hell?
No, my first instinct, I'm gonna see if he's friendly. If he's friendly, I'm gonna pet and love on him. I mean, that's just me though. I mean, I'm a dog person, except for Roxy. Roxy don't like me, but the most of my buddies have big dogs, and I'm not like my future brother-in-law. He's got one that he rescued, and this dog hates men in general, but fell in love with me. He never growled or barked at me. Like now, if I bring any of y'all around, he's gonna go fucking ballistics. But he won't hurt you. You know what I mean? As soon as I get you to sit down and love on him, it's over with. But he was beaten when he was a puppy. He rescued him from the pound because they were about to put him down.
All right. Now, if you came to my house, been there many times, all of a sudden one of them big ass Savannah cats walks out. What the hell are you doing?
I mean,
I'm
you
gonna,
know I
I'm
carry a
gonna ask,
pistol, right?
has that cat ate already?
I mean, I don't know, man. That's a big cat. I mean, I just that's a big cat.
That,
All right.
that's out of the ordinary. That's hey, you want to
Yeah,
see a cat? Yeah, and the cat walks out, and you're like, holy crap! You got your money's worth on that cat.
yeah, he did.
All right. Would you more naturally be afraid of a dog of a similar size,
Oh,
um,
that's a good question there.
or that cat walking out? What? Where would
That fucking cat.
your fear level be?
That
Yeah,
fucking cat. That cat
that'd be
would get
me, the cat.
The
I'd
cat,
run from the cat.
because dogs are that big, and dogs can be lovable, and all that, even a bull mastiff, Clint used to have them, and to me, my opinion is they just slobber a lot, they're lovable dogs. But
Yes,
if a
they do.
cat like that walks out, you're like, oh, crap, that's not a normal cat.
I
All
mean,
right. Go ahead. Go ahead, Wama.
just like this. Everybody knows that South Arkansas's got panthers. You ever been in the woods at night and you heard a panther, you know that you need to get the hell on to the house and stay out of the woods. Because that is not what's supposed to be in the woods at night with you. I mean that's the thing. That like Scott said, that is not normal.
Yeah, that's out of the order. That'd be like a dog the size of an elk or a cow,
Yes.
Yeah. I
I mean,
mean,
now once I got around it and figured him out and seen that he wasn't bad, I might pet him. It'd take a while to build a relationship with a cat that big.
but I would have to tell you, hey, Womble, Razor, hey, he's good, man. Just rub him between the ears. He'll be all
Yeah.
right.
Now, I think it like Clint though. I think it would be neat to have a cat that size, that's as big as my lab, to jump up in the chair with you, and I think it'd be neat, I mean,
I mean,
it'd
I do
be
love.
it'd be original, Not many. I don't know anybody around here that has a cat that size.
I don't know. Y'all are originally from Harmony Grove. Y'all know the woman that raised the cougars, right? The mountain lions that were
I've
in
been
Harmony
over
Grove.
there and I saw that cougar
Yeah.
reach through that damn 4x4. His all right. First off, his paw was this fucking big. The male when he came out, I saw him reach through that 4x4 welded wire cage and knock the hat off the guy that took me over there and showed them to me. You
That's
know,
not normal, Jeff. That's not normal to have a
and
cougar as a pet.
I was like, what the hell? And there were two of them, a male and a female. When I went over there, the female was sitting outside on the little bench thingy or whatever she set up there. I was like, God damn, that thing's huge. He's like, oh, that's not the big one. And then I heard, I was like, what the fuck is that? He said, oh, that's the boy. He
That's
come
the biggest.
walking out there twice the size as the female. And I'm like, all right, who welded this shit up here? First off. And he come up there. He was like, she was up on the damn perch thing. He was like, poof, get off there. She was like, went back into the damn thing. And then he jumped up there. He's like, he reached in the damn thing, sitting there scratching him on the ear, on the head, and all that. And I was like, are you stupid? That's what I'm thinking. He was like, oh no, he's a good boy. He loves to get petted on his head. Pulled his hand out, and because he stopped petting him, that sucker just whoop, bam, knocked his hat off his head. He was like, hey, that's funny. He wants me to pet him again. I'm like, no, he's trying to eat you for supper, dude. What? I'm like,
yeah, he wanted his snack.
yeah.
All right. On that note right there, made me think of something. What is the most exotic pet? Not really a pet. Exotic animal that you've been in contact with, that you maybe petted, touched, held, or been in very close proximity of? I've got two.
I'll go first.
A camel.
No,
No.
A camel?
You and Wobble, camels.
when I was in the Navy out in Virginia, me and some buddies of mine, met these locals, that lived out there, and hung out with them on the beach and all that. And it was summertime out in Virginia Beach, and the first time we went over to their apartment, out in town, drinking beers or whatever, and there was a brother and a sister, and I said something about, I don't know how the conversation started, but I said something about, I don't like spiders. She said, oh, I got
Oh,
Nope,
no.
I'm out.
Uh-uh.
See ya.
No.
Next
Fuck
thing
that.
you know, she comes in holding in the palm of her hand. It's a big old tarantula, and she's like, and stuck it right in my face. And
Nope.
I hate spiders.
I'd
I
have
don't
shot
care if
somebody.
they're spiders, big spiders. I don't even like watching like Lord of the Rings. That one, the second one, whichever one where old Frodo, whatever. No, I don't like spiders. And she stuck it up in my face and, here, you want to pet this? I was like, hell no. I started backing up. She kept putting, and I said, I will knock your teeth out if you don't get that out of my face. And they saw how afraid I was of that, and it was her pet. They had it in a cage and all that. And
No.
she was, oh, it'll like crawl up your arm, and she was letting it crawl up her arm, and the thing bit her, like up on the shoulder. She's, oh yeah, he does that every now and then. I said,
The fuck he will.
I stayed outside. Of course, they had a patio outside. I stayed outside the rest of the time we was there. I was not going back in that house. So that's no.
See this
I'm with
right
you.
here? Stream. That's a size 10 and a half.
Skechers. Worst.
It'd have
Not
been-
that
it'd
we're
have been-
sponsored by Skechers, but that's what it
He'd
is.
have been stomped.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
I'm with you, Scott. Hate
Ain't
spiders.
doing no damn spider.
All right, let me go. I'll tell you the first exotic thing that I think I was 8 years old. I stayed at a buddy's house for the first time ever, and he had this big cage of rabbits in his room. I'm like, well, because like our rabbits at my papa's house, they were outside.
I know
He
where
wasn't
this is
ever in the
going.
house.
I know where this is
And,
going.
And so yeah, I gotta feed my snake. I'm like, what? So yeah,
Negative.
I got a pet boa. He had a big old boa constructor, and I only had one. He had two.
A constructor or a constrictor?
Yeah, it don't matter. He can build some shit.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying, constrictor. And they had these two boas in a walk-in closet,
Frick
and
that.
every bit of 10 foot apiece.
No.
And he goes, "It's feeding time. You want to watch them eat?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm going home. Y'all need to call my mom right now. I'm not staying here. There's no way.
Womble out.
I'm out." I mean, I don't mind snakes. Now, when I was younger, I was terrified of them because the
Nope.
stupid ass fucking anaconda movies.
Be 49 in July. Still. Well, nope.
I'm
Nope.
not as bad anymore. If I can see it, it don't bother me. But when
Negative.
it surprises me, I have a heart attack. So yeah, I'm out.
That's like Austin has snake. No. You want to pet it? I said,
Why?
nope.
Why?
Negative.
I
I
don't
mean,
get that.
you not know his mamas. He likes that exotic shit.
X-nay on the snake A.
No
Wait,
snaky.
Y'all
No.
used to have an alligator, didn't you, Clint?
Hey, he was cool. It wasn't a snake. He wasn't going to choke you.
Yeah, just
Man,
don't stick
he
your
wasn't
finger
but
in his
about
mouth.
that long. He was cool. But, all right, exotic pets, I guess we'll throw it to me now. That was, yeah. A little baby caiman. He was probably 10, 12 inches long. And he's pretty cool. But I would say the most coolest thing I ever witnessed before, and this is when Jeff was up in Missouri. We were coming back down to Arkansas. They had an exotic animal paradise up there outside of Springfield, Missouri. So we left early that morning coming back and was like, hey, we'll take the kids through there. And so we drove through, you do all the little, see all the animals, feed them, freaking whatever that crap is, that bag of feeds you got to buy. But we went back to the gift shop, walked around, and they had a cage actually like a dog crate back behind the counter. I kind of looked over and said, what's that? She said, oh, well, one of our lions just had some cubs here like the last, I think they were probably 2-3 weeks. They had their eyes open, so they at least 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. And she got them out, and we got to pet them and stuff. And all right, a 2 to 3 week old lion was the size of probably, I'd say, your average beagle, and was holding them. Man, that was cool. I've actually petted a freaking lion. Rawr. So that's cool.
If I had to think of an exotic type animal that I've ever touched, petted, held, I don't think.
A mud cat.
Alligator gar. That's exotic.
Ooh, ancient.
I have seen an alligator gar live action, about 6.5 foot long. But as far as touching or petting an exotic animal, I don't guess I ever have.
I mean, the touching and petting part I did. I mean, would you call a shark an exotic animal?
Well, I
Like
guess if you did, yeah,
going to SeaWorld,
Something not
swimming
natural
with it. Yeah, I mean,
that you would see
well,
every day.
that's damn sure not in Arkansas.
well, I mean, I caught some in Hawaii and brought them in, held them in my hands, and
Yeah,
went to filleting the steaks off and throwing them on the grill. If
yeah. I mean,
that counts as something, and yeah, we're not trying to get PETA involved or whatever. People gotta eat, but uh,
But as
I don't
Cleveland
guess
Brown would
I've
say,
ever.
shark is nasty.
no, it ain't.
Oh
Right.
no,
Mm-mm.
them little old
You either
hammerheads
got
are pretty tasty.
They really are. You get somebody know how to cook them, it's really good.
That's what you say about duck, and it's like, ugh.
Duck is good
Yeah,
too.
Doug. No, no,
Duck is
no,
just
no,
greasy.
Doug. No, Doug is nasty. Oop, nasty.
All right.
Oh, and that brought up.
That's. I'm gonna stop thinking with little ideas bring up. We can just keep moving
I
along.
was thinking there was one more thing I was thinking. If my damn thought process was.
Oh, see, Scott put over here camel spiders. But
Oh no,
think about what you were saying, though.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, I was supposed to ask these guys because they've probably seen them.
Exotic animals, or not necessarily exotic, but strange animal, something other than a dog or
pet.
cat
Yeah.
that you have ever had as a pet, Womble.
I mean, this is so generic. I mean, I had a pet raccoon named Bandit,
Oh, really?
and that thing was, yeah, he was like 6 years old.
I've had one too named Bandit.
And I mean,
Sally.
them are the meanest little shits there is to other people. If they're not their owners, like mine hated everybody else except for my papa.
Yeah, I mean, I've had, I think, see, one, two, I think four. We had three at one time, but one time I had a bandit. Well, I'd bring him in from his cage, take him into the house. Oh, he was like, "Ooh, I'm free." You'd be sitting on the couch, he'd just come running down that couch and jump on your head. I mean, like, and just take off and run and like hunk like a cat. I mean, coons are like a cat, really.
Yeah. Come right back and smack the shit out of you. That was mine.
Yeah.
Well, I guess mine would be a rabbit that bought for Dakota after the fair. You know, of course, people, would sell them after the fair, and bought one. I don't know, paid for like $10 for it, and had that rabbit, and it was good up to about a month after we had it, and had it in the cage, and you let it out in the house, it'd run around, and all that. And it is after about a month, you'd go in to feed it. And well, Dakota at one time was holding it, and it bit Dakota. I was like, this rabbit's probably need to go. And of course, my wife I was married to that time said, "Oh, it's okay," and bit the crap out of Dakota's hand. Then he bit me. And if you've ever been bit by a rabbit, man. And so yeah, shortly after that, we had it for about a month and a half, and luckily found somebody that wanted him. And of course, it was a prized rabbit and all this, but everything. But that's, other than a dog and cat, that's the only other pet that I've had was a rabbit. They was fluffy, nice to pet and all that, and soft, but man, they got some teeth.
Yeah, I've had a rabbit before. They were cool. The craziest pet that I didn't have when I was married, my stepson, somehow, actually, I think it came from my wife's nephew. It was a gecko. Now, I was in the Navy before I got married. I was in Hawaii for 4 years. Geckos run wild. They're these cute little old green things, and they got a personality and all this stuff. She told me, said, yeah, Freddie's going to give Mitchell this gecko. I'm like, okay, whatever, cool. That'd be all right. Brought this thing over. He's like 10 and a half inches long. Big, stupid ass looking lizard. And I'm like, what are we supposed to do with this? It's like, oh, we just feed him. You can take him out and play with him and all that. Just, be careful. He may bite you every once in a while. Shit. Every once in a while, this sucker was like a goddamn a bear trap ready to go off every time you stuck your hand in there. You could pick him up, get him calmed down, and pet him, but that damn thing was scary. I, you know, but yeah, as far as weirdest or animal besides a cat or dog I've ever owned. I've had birds and fish and stuff like that, but that damn gecko, yeah, them, nope.
Well, I guess the craziest thing I've ever been a part of is having that little caiman, which like I guess it's like an alligator or whatever, but he was pretty cool. I think what do you call that damn thing? What's the name of that thing? El Gato or Diablo or something like that.
I mean, well, my youngest daughter, soon to be youngest daughter, anyway, she's got a thing. It's a hedgehog,
Well, hedgehog.
and it's nocturnal. So during the day, it sleeps all day, and whenever you pick her up, she's just a ball of needles, and you got a rubber belly to get her to open up, and it's weird. She's a weird creature. But if you're ever watching TV at night in the living room, she's on her running wheel, and she runs for 30 to 45 minutes at a time, just constantly running. So you hear, you
Really?
get, yeah,
What
you
Yeah.
got to
does
have exercise.
what does the hedgehog do?
Not shit. Sleep all day, play all night.
Well, kind of on the subject of hedgehogs, I went and seen Sonic 2 this past Saturday night, and it's well worth it. You should go see it. That's all I say.
And we are not sponsored by that unless
Unless they
Sonic
want to
the
come in here and
Hedgehog
drop it on us, we'll more than likely take it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just like say Coors Light's the flavor tonight. If y'all want to hop on board Coors Brewing Company,
Yeah, bring that train out.
bring
I
it
thought
on.
I thought there was a blue moon tonight.
Well, that too. That'll work, man. Yeah, we're down for anything.
So, chat, most exotic or non-dogger cat pet you had, pop it in there for us real quick. Is
Just
we
like
get
the
ready
final
to
Jeopardy question.
wind this down here, but so far, um, dogs are ruling the roost, so to speak. But you know, cats are cool too. I've had some cool cats, although I've had some bad experiences with cats. And I'm sure Elsie and Razor will remember when our house was getting built. Um, remember Rusty, the cat
Oh, love that cat.
Oh yeah.
that our grandmother's cat, Tom, jumped on him. I was in the kitchen. My grandmother was cooking, jumped on him, bit him right on the head. And that cat was so cool. And somehow I got him apart. My grandmother was like, "Oh no, get him out of here, get him out of here." We took that kitten, put him in a box, and how many days did he lay in that box? Just
Well, it like ripped his head open. I mean,
It
yeah,
was like
it's pretty bad.
2 or 3 or something like that. Maybe a little bit longer. Yeah.
yeah. And after that, that cat was crazy. That's that little, but he was
Well,
cool. He was cool, but oh my god, he was crazy after that.
Jeff, I think you were still in the Navy, but I remember we got a kitten because I just got out of the Navy, and little old orange brindle cat as a kitten, and we were kind of trying to come up with a name for it. And of course, Daddy was still working at Kroger and had that um, blue Ford Ranger. I think we'd gone to school one day, and
Oh,
I
I know.
remember Daddy had called Mother and told her that, hey,
Yeah.
you need to come up here and get this cat, because what happened, Daddy got out to go to work, parked in the parking lot, and heard this cat yell, and he's like, "Where's this cat at?" Got to looking under his truck in the back, and realized, of course, it was cold in the wintertime, and opened the hood, and of course, the cat got up there, by the motor, rode all the way to town, 13, 14 miles. And she come up there and got it. So his name was Traveler.
Yep.
Yeah.
He got
Yeah.
bigger, and grew up and all that. And of course, he was an outside cat. Man, Clint was coming in. Traveler had a habit, been gone for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, he was a
me and
wanderer.
me and Clint kind of started calling him truck driver too, because he'd be gone 2 or 3 days, he'd come back. He'd be gone 4 days, he'd come back. Well, he'd been missing for about like 2 weeks. It was a figure. Well, he's gone. So we went out one night, was coming back in, and right there when you come back into Amy, where they used to have the dumpsters, where people
Yeah.
dump their trash, I told Clint was driving. I was like, "Hey, that looked like our cat." He's like, "You think so?" He's like, "Yeah." So we turned around, called his name. He come running up there, got in the truck. Of course, this is what he'd been missing by like 2 weeks.
Shit,
Man,
yeah.
it was like, God, I'm glad I seen y'all. He come back. I don't know, and I think the last time I ever seen him, I think he went missing, and maybe he got in a
No,
cat.
last time I seen him, he was up there on somebody's porch up there in Amy.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, he was a catter boy. He liked that, that I ain't gonna say, but he was a player. He was a player.
I'll say this, Razor, as far as cats, one of the best ones had to be Jesse.
Yeah.
That sucker, you could talk to him. You say, "Hey, Jesse, what's going on?" He's like, "Meow." It was like, "Oh, okay, you ain't feeling good. All right, yeah, I got you, buddy. Here's some food." He was like, "Hey, Jesse, what's happening?" Meow. He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, get out there and do your thing." That was the best cat.
Like I said, I'm a dog person, but I've had some good cats too. Cats that I wouldn't mind having back, because cats they're not as rambunctious as a dog, unless it's 2 o'clock in the morning. They start running through the house, flipping out, like, "Hey, look at me! It's time to play."
If y'all could hear mine right now, they're going wild because my old lady just got home.
So yeah, I'm not saying I'm just strictly a dog person, but I just prefer dogs, But so yeah. Y'all want to change the topic up?
Well, we got about
40 minutes.
40 minutes before we wrap this up. We could save a topic, or what's your idea there? Maybe might give it a little teaser.
Okay. How about like I kind of mentioned, last week after the podcast, maybe music, maybe your favorite music, maybe your favorite concert, maybe your first concert, your favorite, something along the lines of that, because I know we were all, of course, I'll include Womble into that. We've all three played music, and Womble, he helped us out a lot. Just something maybe on the lines of that, So maybe one of the viewers, can maybe ask a question. Maybe they could put a topic in, and we could go along with that. Completely hit us blindsided.
Yeah, that's
Of course,
true.
maybe not the Mandela effect, because we've kind of already discussed that.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a couple weeks ago.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I think last week was what was last week? Mandela
Weather.
effect was the weather. Yeah, last week
Weather.
was the weather. That was a good conversation last week on the weather.
Yeah. Let's do this while we wind it down. Garth Brooks played stadium show in Razorback Stadium this last week. If there was one band, living or dead, that you could go see, who would it be? And we'll hop over to LC.
Could it be a repeat?
Yeah.
It'd be a toss up between two people. And it's a rock or heavy metal and country. And I'll start with country. If nobody has ever had the opportunity to see Brad Paisley play a live show, highly recommended. As far as a on-stage performer, probably the best show I've ever seen in my life, Brad Paisley. But if I had one band I could go watch again, it would be Metallica. Hands down. Awesome show.
Womble. One
I mean-
band that you could see living or dead. It could be a show you've seen or wish you were able to see. Who would it be?
I mean, there's so many though. That's a big question. I mean, the country by far was Garth Brooks. I seen when I was 20 years old, and I've been to multiple. Garth Brooks and George Jones, uh, by far were the two best countries I've ever been to. But the Dying Down, the one that me, you, Scott, all all we were all
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of my favorite concerts. That was a real good one.
Seven Dust, Breaking
Seven Dust,
Benjamin.
Breaking Benjamin. That I mean, but another one I did the Edge Fest when Five Finger Death Punch first came out. That was a badass concert. I don't know, but them were my top. But yeah, I think
This could be something could be
Eric,
carried over.
Eric Church was another good one. I mean, some people don't like Eric Church, but his concert that I went to was by far he's a real good showsman. I mean, he puts on a damn good show. But yeah,
Razor. Concert, living or dead.
Probably the one that is on my bucket list to go see. Of course, I want to go see Metallica, but if I had the choice, between these two groups to go see, I would pick the Foo Fighters over Metallica. They are actually, well, they were supposed to play in Memphis in May this year. I looked at getting tickets. There's supposed to be like 200 bands there. I was like, okay, the Foo Fighters are finally coming close to me, about 3.5 hours away. I'm going to look into getting tickets. And then, of course, their drummer, Taylor Hawkins, died. So, of course, they canceled, which, I agree with the situation, with that, with them canceling till their drummer died, But that would be my all-time ultimate show to go see is the Foo Fighters because I love the Foo Fighters. I love all music, but just I've watched some YouTube videos of them and all that, and I love Dave Grohl. I read his book, and how he grew up, and how he started with punk, went to Nirvana and all that, and how he kind of transitioned, after Kurt Cobain died and all that, and it's just that would be who I'd want to go see, is the Foo Fighters. I'm sure they'll eventually, find somebody, to replace Taylor Hawkins on the drums. But will they ever be? It's just like Cliff Burton. Is Metallica as good as they were with Cliff Burton since they've replaced him after his death? I don't know. That's debatable. That's probably for a whole nother topic.
That would be, but I would.
But
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying, I mean, because when you have the original four, then that one's taken away, I mean, yes, they're still the same, but no, they're not still the same. But yeah, it would probably be if I could go see a group, living or dead, and I would say, Foo Fighters aren't dead, but that would be it. But as far as like any group to go see that is not dead, that was dead, would probably be Leonard Skinner, back in their prime, when before the plane crash and all that, I would love to seen them, back in the heyday, because I mean, man, just being from the South and all that, that would be if you could go back in time and see that show, say in 1978 or 79, before the plane crash and all that. Man, I think that'd been a kick
That'd
ass
be a
show
good
to
one
see
too.
with all the original members. That would have been a good one.
Yeah, and if I had to, I gotta, I gotta side with you on that, Razor. Foo Fighters, I always wanted to go see them, and it's never going to be the same without Taylor Hawkins. Um, but if I had to pick another band that has a member that has passed away to go see, it would have been Rush. I would
Oh,
have
yeah.
loved to see Neil Peart on the drums. Um, I can't say I'd like to go see Van Halen because I actually got to see them twice with Eddie Van Halen. God rest his soul. But if I had to pick, it'd be Foo Fighters and Rush, um, of any band that you know is never going to be an original band again, as far as original members.
Well, let me ask this question. Of course, there's been some great musicians who've died, over the years. Y- You know, Taylor Hawkins, just the most recent, as far as the music that I listen to. Of course, Eddie, a couple years ago. But of the dead people, the ones who have died, what would be your ultimate build of a band? Say of the ones who have died, who say a bass player, guitar player, singer, and a drummer. Would my drummer would probably be Neil Peart, and my guitar player would probably be Eddie Van Halen. Now, as far as like a bass player, then you throw in, like make the ultimate. This may sound morbid, but make the ultimate dead band. Probably put Cliff Burton, on bass. I don't know who would sing. Maybe have Janis Joplin as a singer. But
Mm.
just think about that.
Dude, you got my freaking wheels spinning.
Because there's been some talented musicians who have died that just take for instance Eddie. I mean, there'll never be another Eddie Van Halen. He's gone. And you could even backtrack. Way back. Jimi Hendrix. Just think if Jimi Hendrix wouldn't have died. Just think how he would have progressed, how he was coming on.
Stevie Ray Vaughan,
Stevie Ray Vaughan. I mean,
There,
there's man.
woo,
Billy Gibbons. I mean,
Exactly.
man.
wow. If you
That's something right
okay,
there.
that's we're gonna hold this for a future episode.
Yeah, because I'm gonna think on this one.
Um,
This is gonna be like the Madden All
dead
Team.
dead musicians.
Wow.
What's your ultimate band? That's gonna be a future topic, and I'd say it's gonna be next week.
The
But if
question
you're
is
still
five
hanging
member,
in here,
a 5 member band.
4 or 5 member band,
Cause they're
singer,
fucking
guitar player,
Angus
chorus,
Young's brother, rhythm guitar man, was probably one of the best rhythm.
yeah, drummers,
Whoa.
bass players.
All right, here we go. Let
Um,
me write this down.
yeah,
Which
write that down so we've
I
got
mean,
that, or put it up there in the um, podcast topics.
would
Because
you have Freddie Mercury singing?
think about that, Freddie Mercury. Uh, this, yeah, that will be a huge topic to discuss. Not saying it's going to be next week. That's why you have to come back every week to see what topic we're discussing and what guests we have in here. Because depending on the topic and the week, We may have different guests in here that may have completely different ideas. I mean, who knows? But as far as bands with people that have passed away, Wammel, did you get to throw your input?
I mean, I'm not that musical savvy like y'all are. I mean, I couldn't produce a band with a singer I couldn't do that. I just know band names and songs. I mean, I love music, but I mean, y'all have more of a passion for it than I do. You know what I mean? Uh,
Well,
but
they
yeah,
give you something to think on.
I mean, it really would. To go back and have to search and do some research, just like with the Mandela effect. It actually had to do some learning. But yeah,
Yeah, and that's what makes this little broadcast podcast type thing so cool is what we do because you never know what we talk about. You never know what the subject's going to be. We've gone from dogs versus cats, basically, is what we started off tonight. Um, Evolving the chat. We want the chat to come in here and give us ideas. Give us your ideas if you're in the chat. What topic would you like to see us discuss? We're not going to discuss anything that's going to cause any problems like religion or race or gas prices or president or politics or anything like that. We're just talking about day to day things. And give us some ideas, give us some input. Come in during the broadcast, pop your ideas in here. We may start discussing them off the cuff and see what happens. You never know. Um, but tonight, we started off dog v cat, ended up um, with music. So,
There you go.
Just a little teaser of the music, because I mean that's something like Womble said. We're all passionate about, and that could be something that could be carried over to be like, okay, to be continued.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
exactly.
mean, yeah, y'all could go in 2 hours just by yourself with music. I could see that coming right now. That's painted all over the walls.
Yeah, it could happen. And, you know, there's, there are so many topics out there. And basically, what we're trying to do is hey, you guys go to work. We all go to work. We do our job. We come home every day and we just want to relax, have fun, hop in the podcast here and engage with us. Forget about everything going on day to day, all that bullshittery that's happening, and let's have a good time. Let's interact. Let's have a good cohesive unit here, and I'll just talk about whatever the topic is because at the end of the day, this is what's the topic. And with that being said, um, LC, I appreciate you here
Well,
hanging out and co hosting with me. What's your final thoughts there, buddy?
well, apparently throughout what we've seen in the chat tonight and the conversation here between us, that dogs would probably rule in favor as the number one pet to have, and the music one. That's I can't wait to get into this one.
All right. Womble, thank you for stopping again tonight. Another repeat guest. Um, what's your thoughts.
I appreciate it, man. I had a good time, and yeah, that pretty much sums up tonight. Dogs are very much on top, and I'm ready to listen to the whole music thing or be a part of either or. I'm down for whatever, but I do appreciate y'all having me back on.
Yeah, and we typically, just to let everybody know, try to have 4 or 5 of us in here. When we hit the music one, you never know. We may have
Maybe a
seven or
full
eight
house.
discussing that topic. But Razor, thank you for bringing that topic up. What's your uh, input and thoughts about the little broadcast tonight?
Well, I appreciate y'all having me back on such short notice. Learned what the topic was going to be about 5 minutes before I come on. But I mean, kind of like Womble and LC. I've dogs tend to be the more favorite pet, and of course, the cat people are going to be like, "Oh no, cats are better." Of course, there's dog people and cat people, but I mean, not saying either one's better than the other one, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. Reminisced a little bit, about some of the pets that we had growing up, and learned a little bit. But said I'm always happy to be here, and have just let me know next time. Let me know a little bit more ahead of time. But yeah, I had a good time, and it's always fun. It's always fun doing this.
Our is a Razor down there. I am J Dub up here next week at 7 p.m. Central Time next Tuesday. We will have a new topic. We don't know what the topic's going to be. Um, Tune in to the chat. Give us ideas. Direct us some different directions in the chat. We highly encourage chat interaction here. So, to help us talk about the things you want to talk about. Like I said, we're not going to talk political or anything like that, but we're going to talk about things just to make you think, different things to make you forget about what's going on day to day or whatever. But I am JW, and for my co host, LC, and for our special guest, Razor and Womble, we will catch you all next week, next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. And y'all have a good one.
Peace.
Later.